All right, so today I wanted to talk a little bit about a very important point here I seen from um, Rob Schneider, who was responding to April Clark saying, name one time in human history where the group fighting to ban books and censor speech were the good guys. And it's a very good point. It is a very good point. And he says, really, really, really think about this. And I mean, number one, it's a testament to just how little people understand history. It's a testament to just how poor of a job public schools do about teaching us about history. Because if the average person had a good sense of history, they would support free speech, right? They wouldn't support banning views that differ from their own. Now, again, today it's not exact. I mean, it isn't. It is sometimes, but the biggest form of censorship we deal with isn't necessarily books. It's more or less um, on social media. That's the biggest form of censorship that we face these days. And honestly, I think it's one of the biggest issues of our time. I mean, there's the one obvious one that I talk about a lot, but this may be the next biggest issue because the minute we lose free speech, a lot of other things are going to go with it. Like there's a reason why it's the First Amendment, right? That it's the most important thing. Um, and the big problem is that the majority of the population doesn't support this stuff anymore. Now, that doesn't mean that we're necessarily going to get rid of it overnight, but we're definitely trending in that direction. Like, we are definitely trending in the direction that um, if we don't get a handle on this stuff, we're going to lose it. I mean, Canada, we already have lost a lot of it, right? We don't have a First Amendment. Technically, we do have kind of free speech, but ours is different in that, our constitution is even more of a suggestion than the state's constitution, right? And that the amount of the amount of charter rights we have that have been suspended for no reason over the last year is frankly pretty much every one of them, to be quite honest, at least the important ones, right? um, and again, people make the point of, oh, the government has the power to do it and blah 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 blah, right? But again, like, the point is very simple that, okay, well, if you're going to suspend people's charter rights, you would better have a damn good reason for it. Okay, well, what are their reasons? Well, pandemic, right? There's a pandemic. Okay, well, as far as Alberta goes, because I can't speak 100% for sure for other areas, but the Alberta government's own numbers show the hospitals were less busy than average, right? So again, like, that's not a reason, right? So again, like, all these excuses, they're not excuses. The reason why I believe the reason why this thing has been blown so much out of proportion is that the government wants to take people's rights away. The government wants to increase their power. And this is something that, again, like, and another testament to just how little people understand history is that history is riddled with, I mean, it's one of the biggest stories of history, if you ask me, is individual people or small groups of people not being able to deal with unchecked power or just flat out having too much unchecked power. That is basically history in a nutshell, but yet how many people still support these public health officials that have no checks and balances whatsoever, being able to do whatever they want? They can make predictions that turn out to be so wrong it's not even funny. Do they face any recourse whatsoever? No. And the worst thing about it is, like, I mean, take I mean, Alberta, another prime example of this. We have a pastor who's in jail right now because he wanted to preach, right? And again, like, I'm not really religious. To me, it's not a big deal. But again, the whole point of free speech is that if you don't defend people you disagree with's right to speak freely, number one, you don't believe in free speech by definition. And number two, eventually people are going to come for you. It's the first they came for this person. I didn't say anything, etc., etc., etc. Then I was the last person standing, and there was no one to speak for me, right? That's what we're going to end up seeing. And this is the thing that the people that support this don't seem to realize. Like, and again, it's just another testament to them not understanding history. Is that if you look at a lot of these um, communist countries, is that who are the first people they kill? Well, the first people they kill are the people that the revolutionaries, right? The people that help them come to power. And the reason they do it is very simple. It's because they know that those are the kind of people that'll turn on them at the drop of a hat. So all the people, not all of them, because some of them will be safe, but most of the people who support this stuff because you think you'll be safe or you think it's not the things that you want to say that are being censored. Well, they're gonna come after you at some point. Like I don't understand how you could be so oblivious to not recognize that. Like they're pretty much screaming it from the rooftops that they're going to do it. Right? Like they're canceling, like, Mr. Potato Head and things that are so irrelevant to things going on these days. It's not even funny, right? And like I said, the big problem too is that the whether or not you get canceled tends to be where do you stand on the political spectrum, right? And that people on the left can do pretty much whatever they want, people on the right not so much. I mean, you look at like Cuomo, prime example. Now Cuomo, I think the elephant in the room is getting a little too big for them to a little too big to ignore, and I think it's looking like he may be in some hot water, but nonetheless, like if Trump or if DeSantis or if in Canada Jason Kenney did anything even close to what Cuomo did, I mean, there's no way they wouldn't be forced to resign. And number two, they'd probably be charged, right? They'd be charged and would probably end up in jail, right? So this is the big problem in society. Well, the other big problem aside from the censorship is that the censorship tends to only go one way. But like I said, for the people out there that think, oh, I'm on the left, or, my beliefs are popular, they'll come for you at some point as well. Like, mark my words, it's more likely than not that they will come for you at some point as well. It's a virtual guarantee, to be quite honest. Because again, the people that they're the people that they know are going to be the ones most likely to cause trouble once they gain power. And again, the other point too is very simple in that when have you ever seen these people say and actually be honest with it, right? When have these people ever said, okay, well, we just want to cancel these ideas or these kind of people and then we'll be done, right? Then we can go back to, free speech and all this stuff. When have they ever said that? Right? They said, oh, it's only Alex Jones, it's only David Icke, right? Again, who cares what you think of those guys too, right? Like I say, if you're not willing to defend people's right to free speech you disagree with, you don't believe in free speech. And in my mind, you're a piece of garbage. Doesn't mean you have to agree with people. And this is one of the fundamental reasons why I think that these people support this stuff is that they don't have the brain power to process that you can defend people's right to speak without having to agree with what they say. It kind of just boggles my mind how you can be that oblivious, but people actually are. But that's the thing. That they said, oh, like I say, it's only these people, guys, but then it never was. Now it's very, very, very milk toast, vanilla people, and it's not only that, it's Mr. Potato Head, it's Uncle Ben, it's Aunt Jemima, right? Like if you think that, like this is the other very important thing that I just thought of too, like if you think that you're okay and that what nothing I'm saying is too outlandish, so I'm okay. Again, these are the same people that are canceling Mr. Potato Head and Aunt Jemima. If you think that they're willing to cancel Aunt Jemima and Mr. Potato Head, but not your beliefs, again, you got another thing coming. So, again, the point is very, very clear here too. That um, if you're trying to censor people, if you're trying to ban books, you're the bad guy by definition. I don't. Maybe there is. I really doubt it. But there is no scenario or hypothetical scenario even, and I can think of that to where if you're fighting to ban books or to censor speech, you're the good guy. Right? There's no scenario I can think of. So again, the point pretty much speaks for itself. So anyway, that's what I wanted to bring up today. If you liked the video, make sure you hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you check out those links below. Follow me on those other platforms if you haven't already. If you want to donate, you could do that as well. Again, I would very much appreciate whatever support I can get. But like I said, at the very least, just hit that like and subscribe and stay tuned for more.